The Wellness Show, episode 111.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. So welcome to the show, and tonight we have a return visit with Maureen Edwardson, and tonight we're going to talk about the year of the rooster, or what do you got to crow about anyway? So welcome back to the show. I was curious to know, where is home now? Every time I'm on Facebook, you're either in Hawaii or some other exotic place. So are you back home now?
I am. I'm in my White Rock home in Greater Vancouver. I have a beautiful view of the ocean here, and so I can wave at the U.S. and, blow kisses to Kauai, and they always seem to get them, so this is good.
It is good. So I know that you've been doing some exciting things in Kauai, and we haven't had to talk about that yet on the show. So could you say, well, I know why you go there. It's a wonderful place and you brag with all those pictures of you on the beach and all those nice things that you're doing, sunsets and everything. But I know there's more than just sending us pretty pictures. There's been quite a lot that you've been doing by being there. So what's that all about?
Well, Kauai called to me. She chose me, and it's an ancient calling of Lemuria, which is my first lifetime on the planet. And so it was a natural resonance for me to find myself there. And so I do go at least a couple of times a year. It's my other home. It's my spiritual home is what I feel it as. And I have a lot of spiritual family there, which just happened 3 days after my very first trip there. Even when I was completely burned out, I went for, R&R and to restore myself, and found myself, in a wonderful community. So that's what I go there for, to reactivate my ancient knowledge of who I am and what I'm here to teach, what I'm here to radiate, I suppose, if you could call it that, resonate. And I go there to deepen my own understandings and connect with the land and the ancient DNA on that land. And as the Dalai Lama once said, he wanted to go to Hawaii. He only wanted to see one island, and that was Kauai. He only wanted to see two places in Kauai. One was Polihali, which is where all the souls apparently jump off the cliffs and leave the planet. And Anahola Mountain, which is a portal where all the souls are birthed onto the planet. So it makes sense for me because it's deepening my work there. It's helping me understand things in new contexts all the time. And I get more of my teachings every time I go there at a deeper level. So unconsciously, I went there because, I didn't know why I was going there. And every time I go, I deepen my own spiritual practice.
No, that sounds wonderful. I mean, I understand. I more have been related to Maui because I guess that's where I've been led to go. But I know that that's a place where my soul is renourished and recharged. And, being around the energy of Mount Pele and sacred ceremony and learning a little bit about Huna and Huna healing and breath work is very powerful, transformative work. So, yeah, it's a great place to be renourished and revitalized. And for us people in the north that, I don't know what it is now, 20 degrees below zero centigrade, it's a great place to go warm our blood for a while. So, yeah,
Yes.
a home away from home. Actually, your spiritual home. So when you're there, do you teach as well?
On occasion, everything happens magically. I never plan things when I go to Kauai because Kauai has its own plans for me. And I do have students there. I do have clients there. But it just happens spontaneously and magically. Doesn't matter for how long I'm going. It usually happens. And so I'll do workshops or I'll do talks or I just show up and people need help. And that's how it flows for me, especially there.
So here's a question for you. So you're in the flow. Obviously, when you're Hawaii, you remember past lives. You get your downloads and teachings. Are you able to bring that synchronicity back into your day-to-day life when you return
Oh,
home?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. Because basically that's who I am. It just is enhanced and magnified when I'm in Kauai.
Yeah, I do. A reason I'm asking is I am about to, at the end of the month, go back and work with the shaman Sarah and I work with in the Mayan Yucatan Peninsula. And my goal always is to bring that magic of that sacred ceremonies that we do, that connection to the Lords of Light, and bring it back into my everyday life, so that's the way I move through my life, that every moment is sacred. So I know it's a practice that for me is ongoing. I can't say that I'm there yet, but it certainly gives me, what would you say, something to work towards, maybe non-work towards, or something to allow to be. Maybe that's the way to say it. So that was the root of the question. How are you doing with those two worlds? Are they one world now for you? And it sounds like they are. So that's great, in the flow.
And to remember, Tyson, when you're down there and you are moving yourself into that more expanded space that you're choosing to bring back into your everyday life, remember your inner resonance touch breath, because as you're down there and you're feeling it, you're embodied with it. If you connect with that consciously and add that in to your spot of what you know inner resonance is, because when you're in a certain feeling state or certain chemistry or certain frequency, if you notice it at the same time you're noticing your breathing, and you create a spot somewhere, to touch on your body, doesn't matter where it is, and then you're breathing, with that place from your heart. It's always a good place to do that from, and breathing and touching your heart as you're really embodying and being present with those frequencies and that expansion.
I
And
really
then if
like
you,
that. So I really
yes,
like that. So that makes sense to me because I know a bit about inner resonance. But maybe you could help the average listener. Maybe you could translate that in a way that they could maybe understand. Could you do that?
absolutely. What I do when I work with somebody, I take them through the protocol I developed, which is very simple and underwhelming, because simplicity is the doorway to great complexity. And what is more complex than our spiritual self? And our bodies are a walking miracle, and our mind and our brains are so complex. But the doorway is very simple. And so I start with people by having them notice their breath, and we finish with the breath. And the breath is the breath of life and the breath of connection that breathes us into our container, our communication device. And our bodies have programs to know how to work with spirit and how to clear whatever the static is in our field that is interfering between our heart and the greater expansive universal field of intelligence and potential. And so I take people through my protocol, and then at the end, they're feeling in this wonderful expanded state. I call it the chemistry of freedom, and the a chemistry of wholeness and the frequency of freedom. And for most people, that feels like a deep relaxation, a lightness. Sometimes it comes with a tingly energy. And as people are feeling that sense of being home, in their own heart center and aligned with their greater self, then I get people to notice that, because chemical memory in the brain works through associative conditioning and associative triggers. And if you think about listening to a piece of music or hearing a piece of music that was playing when something wonderful happened, all of a sudden your body is going to start to feel good before you even recognize that you're listening to that music. And the same, obviously in the reverse, that, if you're listening to a song that was playing when there was a trauma that happened or something unfortunate happened, that's going to make you tense. And so the brain works through associative conditions. triggers. If somebody comes up behind you and you've been mugged, you're going to automatically start to protect yourself. You're going to sense that somebody's there, and you're not going to feel comfortable. So that's the association that your brain creates chemistry from to have your body respond with. So at the end, when people are feeling in this expanded, wonderful energy, I just get people to notice, because that's the number one thing, isn't it? Just noticing and being present with something. And then as we breathe with that alignment and with that expansion and touch a spot in our bodies, anywhere, it doesn't matter, then the brain is associating those three things together: your breath, the feeling and the chemistry that you have happening, and the touch itself. And it's like creating a switch, as in, Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this, the neurons that fire together, wire together. So what that's doing, when you notice things simultaneously, you're bringing them together into a same point in your brain and creating a switch. So as you notice that, then you can program that to be a reactivation point of that chemistry and that frequency, just with a single breath. But how you program that is 4 times, because the subconscious loves the number 4. The first time subconscious gets something a little different and new,
I'm just going to interrupt you, because that's really a lot of words, and I get it. But how about we just do it?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because I get the words, I love the words, but let's do it. Can you take us through an example, so an experience
That'd be great.
People on the call could just get it in the cellular center of their being?
That's my favorite thing, Tyson. Thank you for the invitation. All right. So, Are you breathing?
Yeah,
We're just breathing.
Yeah, I'm upright and I am breathing. So let's go.
Exactly. And so just breathing with awareness that you're breathing in, the universe. In every breath, you're breathing in. You're part of that greater field of consciousness. And that is your higher self, where all your angels and guides and whatever you believe spiritually is there for you. And it's a place where we're learning to have greater and greater command consciously of our personal reality. We're part of everything that is. And so we're just saying yes and thank you.
So you're welcoming everybody to do this right now, right?
That's right.
All right. So
just inviting everybody to breathe, and just notice that you're breathing, and that is the breath of life, the breath that connects you into the infinite. And just saying yes and thank you to the infinite and that higher part of yourself, keeping it really simple.
And that thank you then connects you to that divinity of the breath, your divine inspiration that's coming into your body, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, you're inspiring yourself. Your respiration is inspiring, breathing in spirit.
Right. And then do you have people then connect with the earth energy and breathe that up as well?
That's the next thing. So it's just about feeling your body and just noticing that you're actually in your body, and feeling where your body is touching the world around you. And that grounds you, that connects you right away to Mother Earth and those energies. And so we just like to switch on all the programs of full receptivity of our body's ability to respond to spirit and work with spirit. And we keep it really simple. We just say, yes and thank you, body, switch on, body, because so many of our automatic pathways to work with spirit get shut down through stress and tension and pain. So we just want to open up to that full receptivity. So a simple way to do it is just to switch on all the programs that know what to do. Switch on, body.
Great. So switch on, body. So now we're connected with heaven and earth, with the in-breath and out-breath, where I have the marriage of spirit and earth in our heart and in our body with every breath. And now we're settling down. And
that's right.
The next step.
Next step is to clear all the static, in your field. Because what I say this protocol allows you to do is sit in the center of your heart in that clear space, connected into your greater self and infinite potential. And so as you're breathing in and out of your heart, with awareness, then you're choosing to clear all the static, all the interfering old information, all the old blocks that get in your way of being who you are and connecting in with your greater purpose, the things that you're choosing to crow about this year, the year of the rooster. What are you choosing? How are you choosing to be this year? What do you desire? And so clearing the way, and we do that just again through the breath, just breathing in and out through your heart center. And it's clearing all old programs, all old beliefs that no longer are relevant or serve a higher purpose at this time. And it's clearing your informational patterns in your field so that your body is left just to be relaxed and to feel good, and your mind clear and inspired and connected through your heart. So just breathing in and out through your heart center, and just choosing that everything that limits you, all the old energy, all of the unresolved issues, not only from your own life, but this addresses all of the DNA of your ancestors. It's all there simultaneously in your field. There is no time and space with our quantum spiritual selves. All of your soul memory, every single lifetime, you can clear all of them because they're all connected. And then the memory of the planet, because breathing, we're connected to the recycled memory from all time and places. So we are the center point of that universe in expression. So as we breathe in through our heart center, breathing in and out, you can choose a color to breathe in and out with that you love, or just focused on your breath and allowing that everything that interferes with you physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, relationships, on all levels of that memory we spoke of, is simultaneously being addressed, neutralized, rebalanced, harmonized, brought into greater alignment. And as all this is happening, we create agreements that put us in charge. And the first agreement is to allow only what is the safest and most appropriate for you and all concerned at all times to be shifted and realigned. And we want to also open to greater ease and gentleness than perhaps we ever thought possible. And would you be open to allowing effortless grace to guide the way to instant and permanent relief? What is no longer relevant or useful to your higher good?
And this is where you ask the client to respond by saying yes or no out loud, right?
That's right. They're just saying yes. The great answer is yes.
Yeah, you can't get
It's
it wrong.
always yes.
Just say yes.
It's always yes. It's always yes. And you're always, responding, to your higher self. Oh, yes to your greater good. Yes to greater ease and gentleness. Yes to instant and permanent for what's ready. And for what's not quite ready, to trust at a deeper level that it is unfolding as we go on the journey. And everything will be easier and gentler and faster because you are making those agreements that we will anchor in at the end. And then to allow the part of you that is open to something different even being possible, allowing that part of you to be in charge. And then allowing the part of you that knows how the heck to go do it, because it sure isn't our mental conscious level, because we would have done it a long time ago. And our bodies no longer need to act out the past, because we're clearing all of the past in frequency and energetic patterns in our field. So that's all that's left for the body to do is just feel good and feel healthy, feel happy, and give us inspirations, because our body is that point of attention where we choose and we pay attention, we listen to our bodies, so we know what our next steps are, and we're guided through our body's ability to listen. And so allowing the part of you that knows how to work with your higher self, with spirit, with all that is, your spiritual team, And your only thing left for you to do would be to go on holiday somewhere in your mind. Take yourself off on holiday, go somewhere beautiful, peaceful. I love imagining, of course, being in Hawaii. But wherever you imagine going, you can go to a beach, or you can be on top of a mountain, wherever you feel happy and peaceful. Or you can just imagine yourself cuddled up in bed. It doesn't matter. Just allowing yourself to feel comfortable somewhere in your mind. And it doesn't even matter if people have a little nap while they're in process like this, because, as I say, it does not happen at the conscious level. So it's also something that you can listen to and drive, for example, because it's very much a background program, much like a computer does its defrag and antivirus programs while you're surfing the web. It doesn't matter what you do consciously, it's still in its process and taking care of things on a more efficient level. So all that's happening right now.
Sounds good to me.
Does it feel good too?
Oh, absolutely. So now that you got this program running, and it's running through all the layers of your being, and it's defragging your collective, your unconscious, the collective unconscious as we go, and it's running the program 24/7, 365. And I guess you could even ask that part of yourself that knows how to do this to continue to run the program until you're free and clear, and breathing and living in spirit 24/7, 365. And then
Absolutely.
you have sort of this magic sound that you do. So are you going to do that?
The magic sound?
Yeah.
I don't think so. There's different things there's a multitudinous things of a process that people can do. And at this point, they can add in, their Reiki, they can add in sound healing like you do. And so when people do the protocol first, and then, of course, as you're experiencing that frequency now, which I call the chemistry of wholeness and the frequency of freedom, it feels like an enhanced, relaxed state. And so I would just offer to guide you through anchoring that new level, because you have done this before and not for quite a while. So you can anchor in this new level of freedom and expansion and alignment by noticing that relaxed feeling and choosing a spot somewhere on your body to touch as the activating switch. Could be tongue on the roof of your mouth, could be your heart, doesn't matter. And as you're breathing with awareness of that relaxed feeling and the touch, it's all getting programmed together into the same switch in your brain. So streaming awareness of your breath, the feeling of relaxation, and the touch. And we're asking all levels of consciousness to notice and use this as a place to reactivate anytime you want or need it, an extra boost. But as you said, it's always running in the background, 24/7. And sometimes life happens to throw us off balance, so we can then, do a breath and a touch and release that chemistry to alchemically shift how we're physically feeling and change our frequency. I like to share the definition of resonance in an electrical circuit. Zero resistance allows maximum flow of energy. And so that makes sense, doesn't it? Right? When we don't have the resistance, then we have the smooth energy, we have access to more energy, and the flow, we're back in the flow.
Yeah, so basically
That's
getting out of your own way then.
Yeah. And that's basically what it is clearing, but also, in that space of clarity, it's easier to dream and envision in, and be inspired, and then, feel the end result of what you're choosing, that and something even greater that we can't even imagine right now where we are. And that allows, it's just that energy in motion with the law of attraction to have it connect with us much more quickly and smoothly.
So this is a technique not only prepare you for other modalities, but to allow you to receive guidance, to like you say, put you in the state to manifest. It gives you that coherence with that's in tune with the infinite, to allow that return flow to return to you, because you're matching the divinity of who you are. So it's a very powerful technique. I was asking you about the sound you make, and probably on the call it wasn't appropriate, but I'm always waiting for that moment. Are you scared the bejesus out of me to remind me to snap out of it? I think that's what that technique is all about. Right? And so we've been doing this for years, and even though that I would know the sound was coming, I never knew when, and she always got me, and I jumped every single time, which put me in a different state of awareness. So I was still waiting, but it didn't happen. So I
Sorry to disappoint you, Tyson. Well, that's a pattern interrupt, and some people need it and some people don't.
Yeah, I guess I didn't need to be interrupted, but yeah. So the whole methodology is a great pattern interrupt, and I thank you for that. And I hope the listeners on the call will take advantage of this, because it really is a very smooth, easy way to get into gratitude, to get into the flow, to prepare yourself for whatever it is that you want to bring into your life. And for that, I'm truly grateful for you to actually demonstrate it, because it makes the words so much more authentic when we can actually feel it in our body. So what's
Absolutely.
the next step for you? We've got about 2 minutes to go. So we need to know how to get hold of you. And also, I'm really curious to know what's coming up for you. I know you got a new class coming up, and I think you got bigger visions probably lurking there in the background. So what's happening?
So my new website's still in process, but it's still it's pretty much good, good to go right now.
Yep.
Is MaureenEdwardson.com, and that's my full name, no spaces, lowercase. Trainings are ongoing, and so that's where you can find them on my website. I am doing one which probably will be just finished by the time you air this, February 3rd to the 5th. There will be another one. February 3rd to 5th, and there will probably be another one later in the month of February. The last weekend of February is when I'm planning, and they're ongoing. There's 4 levels of training. As opportunities for personal clearing, and then introduction, facilitation, so you can help your friends and family, and then basic certification, and then mastery. And so there's a wonderful group of people on that path, and it's a great joy, to be in community with others with the same heart and the same resonance. So this is what I'm doing, and I also do Zoom calls regularly, so they will also be posted on my website, and do group calls as a way to introduce this work. And I also do free consultations one-on-one with people. I say half an hour, but we just don't worry about the time frame there, because I love talking about these concepts and helping people understand how this work can help them be empowered and wake up their magical selves, wake up their most authentic place in this world, because each of us have that special gift to share just by being who we are. And I just love to help people find that.
Maureen, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Welcome back, and we'll catch up with you, I'm sure. So bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye for now.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.